Hey, Broker Nation. Today on the show, I have Alex Benjamin, the CEO of Lendful.ca. Lendful is a unsecured lending platform that we brokers can use with our clients. And so they came out in 2015, and then they sort of disappeared for a bit. And I'll let Alex explain what happened, but now they're back in business, and I'm excited that we have this tool to use. So check out this interview with Alex, and you can find out how they work, how they can help you with your business, and how you can get signed up to send them clients and get paid as well. So it's super cool. So check out this episode with Alex. Hey, Alex, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me on, Scott. Great to be here.
It's been a little while since we chatted, and so you're the CEO of Lendful. And so tell me what's been going on in your world in the last little bit.
Well, we have been going through a really exciting time of change. We've just been acquired by People's Trust in Vancouver. As some will know, we've been around since 2015, and we've been providing consumer loans to an underserved part of the market here in Canada. And towards the end of last year, we entered into an agreement with People's Trust for them to acquire us. And that ended up taking a bit longer than what we had hoped. And so we actually had to stop lending during that time. But we're now back, and hence we're connecting and having a chat.
Back in business, and just like Arnold, I'll be back, except with the Australian accent. It's just as cool. Exactly. Okay, so I say if people don't know who Lendful is, what is your guys' specialty? What are you guys known for? What are you good at?
Sure. Well, look, we really we came to market with a product that's an unsecured lending, unsecured loan of $5,000 to $35,000. So it's a niche little part of the market that we found a lot of people have appetite and demand for. Typically, we lend money from 9.9% and upwards. Our value proposition's always been around trying to be better than a credit card. So really helping people to get stuck in sort of 22.99% land on a number of different products, and helping them bundle it into one. Sorry?
Or 29%, some cards.
Right. Yeah. Sure. Mm-hmm. And we've had a lot of traction over the last 3 years. A lot of people have tried us out, some with varying experiences, but the fact that People's have come in behind us now and acquired us has really sort of validated that they like what we're doing, and we're here to grow and keep helping brokers.
Well, there's definitely a gap in the marketplace, especially from our perspective in the mortgage industry. We don't have we don't have as many tools as a typical person at the branch. And so it's great to have one. So what kind of things have you found mortgage brokers have been using you guys for, like use cases, just so it gets people thinking like, okay, I can use them for this, that, or the other thing?
Sure. Great question. We see there's a lot of incidental purposes. So it can often just be out of pocket for their customers, where they'd like to purchase a car, or they'd like to purchase some sort of asset. Again, the money's unsecured, so it can really be used as they wish. But the other big thing is debt consolidation. So people who they're dreaming about buying a home, they might be introduced to a mortgage broker, they have a conversation, and the broker sort of says, okay, well, look, you've got this expensive credit card debt or a line of credit. We need to help you improve your credit score to get you in the doors of, in the realms of 670 or a 680 credit score, but say it's at 625 or a 640 or a 650. What we found really interesting is that if you refinance that interest-only debt onto a personal loan, so it's amortized, the bureau rewards you, or generally rewards a customer. And, that really helps people boost their credit scoring and start having a mortgage conversation.
Right. So strategic debt planning would be one example of use cases. What about things like, say they buy a place and they realize when they get in it, there's some things that they want to get done on the property. They didn't add it into the mortgage. Is that an example of something people could use this for? So they need an extra $15,000, or because your loans are from 5 to 35, right?
Correct. Yeah. So our average loan balance is typically $19,000 to $20,000. So yeah, a lot of people find that they've got furniture or some outdoor things, or they need a new kitchen, or they need some plumbing attended to, and it's just that money's there. We provide it up to 5 years, so it's just paid back the same amount every month for customers. So it gives them a bit of predictability, and it's open, right? So if people decide they want to pay it off early, they can do that without a penalty.
Right. That's cool. So I'm just being in the mortgage business, thinking of different situations. So strategic debt planning, some renovations. What about like a purchase plus improvements? Are you guys, I know it's a shorter term sometimes, but some purchase plus improvements seem to go on forever and ever. So would that be something you guys would look at?
On a case by case basis, yeah. I think one of the good things, like whatever the purpose is, it's something that we would talk to you about. And if you want to pick up the phone and have a call, or you've got other questions around, is this something you guys would look at? Our team are available and they can help. So
right. Okay. And what I like is that it's a tool that we in the broker community can use, where we don't have to send them into a branch. We're not sending them into our competition to get something done. It's something that we can actually help facilitate. So what does the process look like if I have a deal that I want to send to you guys? How do I A, get signed up or get approved to work with you, and B, how do I send you guys deals?
Sure. That's typically, by the way, what you said is it's a big part of the value proposition for brokers, is just keeping your customer with you, and it stops them going to the branch. It's online. So to kick off the process, you do need to be a signed referral partner. What I'd suggest is that you email broker@lendful.ca and you ask one of the team to please send you a referral agreement. It's pretty standard. Take a look. We will send it to you in DocuSign, so you can electronically sign it, attach your void check, send it back to us, and then you can start sending us deals.
Okay. So, and then how do I send a deal? So, okay, I get signed up, reach out to you guys, broker@lendful.ca. Now I've got a deal or a client that I think is a fit. How do I get that to you?
Great question. We made this as simple as we possibly could. So to get it off your desk, what we typically just need is, if you were to drop me an email, or anyone on the team, it's, "Hi Lendful, I've got a customer who'd like a loan. Their name is Bill and Bob. It's
Tom Cruise, because he's
that's right. It's a $20,000 loan. The purpose of the loan, whether it's English or French, and their email address and phone number." So it's just kind of like the key. We'll send that list. We'll post it on your Facebook page as well. But it's generally 5 questions that answers that they would need to send us. We then email the customer a DocuSign application form, and it's CC'd to the broker. So the broker can stay in the loop and see what's actually happening in the application process, but then it's all up to the customer to fill out the application.
Okay. And then you guys take it from there. So once the broker's handed it off to you, you both get CC'd. They will, so there's some documentation required. Like, so what would typically be required on something like this?
Letter of employment, identity, so driver's license or a passport, and a void check. And then we basically will start digging into the credit application. You'll find out pretty quickly whether there's any issues. The only other thing that I was going to mention is you'd need 2 pay stubs as well, so you can verify income.
Okay, so there's and then if the broker has that, because let's say I was doing a loan for someone and I have those documents, can I send those in with my, so if I fire it off to you and say, "Hey, I got a client, name is Tom Cruise, here's his pay stub, his letter, he wants a loan for XYZ, can I do that to save a step?"
Yes, you can. So it is you who sends us the referral. So you do tell us who it is, but we have moved to the place where the customer is the one filling out the documentation form now.
Right. So they'll fill out the app. So the customer will fill out the application, but we can. I'm just trying to think: is that possible for us to submit the paperwork that we have, rather than them finding the email they sent to us, forward it to you?
Yep. We've set it up that way just to help us manage our risk. But also, if you do want a paper-based application, you can get one. So we would be able to email it to you. So if you did want to go to your customer with, this is being pre-populated by us and you need to sign it, there is that option available.
Okay. But I'm mostly thinking I wouldn't necessarily maybe fill it out for the client, but I would at least provide some of the document. If I've got their pay stubs and things that I know you're in their
Yep.
ID that you're going to ask for, I'm just going to CC you on that email and say, hey guys, here's what I've got. And then
You can send it all to us. Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
saves a step. So if somebody's organized, what's the timeline on, and they look like they're going to be a fit for your guys' product, what's the timeline on how do they get their money? And then how long does that take?
Okay, so we have typically in the past been able to fund deals within 24 to 72 hours. For anything that's really urgent, sometimes there's that moment when you're like, okay, we really need this to get done. We've been able to jump on it very, very quickly and do it same day. But generally, if everybody has everything in place, we try to do it within 24 to 72 hours. So again, sometimes things get missed or there are points of clarification that are needed and we can't get hold of people during work hours. So, it can drag out a little bit, but, we've got a pretty well-oiled machine now. So it should get done pretty quickly.
And then do they get their money by, I think I know the answer, but I just want to make sure that I'm
electronic funds transfer.
So it shows up right in their bank account. So it's
correct.
Like, yep. Once it's approved, and then does the broker get notified? Hey, client was approved.
Yes.
How does that work? So then I would know. Maybe we asked for 30 and you said, no, we could give you 20. So we would get a notification saying client was approved for $20,000.
The beauty with DocuSign is you will actually be able to track it and see where that's at. You'll be able to see what the promissory note says. You'll be able to see what the repayments are like. So you'll be kept in the loop all the time. And at the same time, if you want to be a little bit hands off, you can as well. So
okay, I have a couple other questions.
Please.
So what does this report to the bureau?
It does, yeah. So we do send a file every month on all of our loans to the bureau. So
like Equifax, TransUnion, standard stuff. And but what are the rates and terms like? So what sort of range of rates and what's the different term lengths I can have?
We've got a baseline rate of 9.9%. We typically trend up to low 20s, but generally speaking, it'll be between 9.9 and 20%, anywhere from 6 months up to 5 years.
And who decides on the term? Like, can the client, if they approve, can the client select a 2-year term if they want?
Correct. Yep. Totally. I think what we find time and time again is most people take a 5-year deal. They like, lower repayments on a monthly basis, and it just helps them manage their cash flow.
And because it's open, and it's okay if somebody does want to pay you back. Let's say they have a 5-year loan, 3 years go by, and they're like, "Hey, I want to pay this thing off now." What's the process in paying it off?
It's simply just dropping us a note, an email, and just saying, what's my payout balance? We give you the balance, and you can we can either debit your account or you can wire us the money or send us a check.
Okay. And so this is one of the cool parts too, is that you guys work with the broker community. So you have a referral program where you'll actually pay for successful referrals. And so if I'm a broker, you mentioned use the broker at lendful.ca to sign up, and then what does your referral program look like?
Yeah, so look, we have a pretty a good referral program in place that rewards for funded deals, and so we pay a 1% commission on all funded deals. So if you're sending in a deal, it gets funded at $20,000 loan, it's a $200 payment.
Right.
And what's actually been pretty interesting over the last couple of years is just watching some brokers really take that on as an additional revenue stream in their business model. So brokers that have ended up with lots of leads and lots of names in their database with a snapshot of their client statements of position have been able to say, hey, we've got a lot of clients with credit card debt, and we're able to actively market to those customers and say, hey, look, we could look at refinancing your credit card debt across a loan like this and treating it as an opportunity to generate, potentially a mortgage conversation at some stage. Because I think it's not always that people fully understand that actually getting away from interest-only debt is actually going to help me long-term, and paying off that principal is generally rewarded by the bureau. So, we've seen some brokers just go through an afternoon on their own, and they sift through their database, and they'll pull out 5-10 names and send us some deals. And we've got our credit model is pretty good at approving deals. So we will try and find a way to get you an approval if we can. Mm-hmm. And so what that means is just extra revenue.
Right. And so your revenue, absolutely. Also, you're helping solve your client's problem. potentially helping them lower interest rates or manage their debt better, improve their credit score. So there's a whole bunch of strategic reasons why this product makes sense. And
Yep.
when we first chatted, like I think it was 18 months ago, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited that we have this now as a tool for mortgage in our industry. And I'm glad to hear that, that what happened was you guys are being acquired. So it's like, hey, you guys came out of the gates, you were flying, and then you go through the process of getting acquired. Of course, that creates off-sea and a bunch of things that make you have to basically pause. And then when that went through, now you guys are back. And of course, being part of People's Trust, they're a big established brand, been around for a long time. But I can see brokers, like for instance, doing some email marketing possibly to their databases. Like you said, just being strategic about even people that are prospects. Maybe they didn't even do a mortgage for them. But now you've had that conversation, you talk to them for 20 minutes, realize you can't help them. Maybe this is a way for you to help
open
them.
Open
the door, help them rebuild. You start to build trust and also potentially get paid for that, 30-minute consultation you did on the phone. So I think, I think this is going to be taken up well by our community.
That's great. I think for us, it's always just been trying to understand the purchasing decision of not only the customer, but also the broker. And, we've spent a lot of time just, speaking to our customers and trying to understand like what was important to them. And I think there's no other place like other than the broker community where this product really fits in really, really well, because it does tick the boxes on so many fronts where there is a problem and it's like, well, how do we fix this? And
right.
We've got some great marketing collateral that we can share with brokers for people who want to, present to their clients. If they'd like us to come out and present at team meetings to educate the teams, it's really worth engaging with me personally and also with the team, and we'd be happy to come out and do that.
Right. So, and people, how will they get hold of you?
I'm on LinkedIn. And my personal email is alex@lendful.ca. And I really strongly suggest that you connect and be happy to have some dialogue and conversation around how we can help you.
And is there I have two questions. So the first question is, where did the name come from? So where did you come up with this name, Lendful? What was the idea?
Okay.
And then I have another question after that.
Lendful was around mindful borrowing, actually. So mindful lending. Meditation's always been a big part of my life, or I shouldn't say always. In the last 7 or 8 years, it's really come to the front for me. And I think with lending, and borrowing, it's really good to put some thought into how you live with credit. And I think the part of the market that we operate in is definitely one where we've got, as I said, people paying a lot of money on credit, unsecured credit, which they often don't have anything to show for it. And we wanted to come to market and say, okay, now's an opportunity to be mindful about that. And we just joined lending and mindfulness together and came up with Lendful.
I like the name, so I was just and I'm big on coming up like names and naming things. And so
Thank you.
Your name that I'm like, okay, where did it come from? Okay, so is there anything else that I should have asked that the broker community or people would want to know about you guys, just because in case I missed something?
Yeah, look, I think we're open for a dialogue, conversation. We're accepting deals. People can to email them in. And get going. And, we've been a big part of the community, and we would like to, re-engage and connect with people. And so, please connect with us. And, we're looking forward to seeing everybody out there at the conferences over the next 6 to 12, 18 months. Okay, awesome. Well, dude, I'm excited that you guys are back in business, that it's now a tool that we can use again. And so if you guys check this out at lendful.ca, and to get signed up, it's broker@lendful.ca. Reach out to them to get registered so that you can send clients their way and make a little bit of money at the same time. So that's awesome. Alex, thank you so much, brother. I really appreciate it. And I hope you guys continue to crush it.